Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and if I look like hell, well, I apologize. I actually semi-quasi snuck away to do this video. Of course, as I'm doing this video, we would normally be doing the live right now, but just not earlier, just not feeling it. And I'm feeling a little bit better. Vision's improving. That's all great, right? But migraine's kicking my butt today, and look, I got to tell you guys, I'm super motivated ever since coming back from eBay Open. But with everything going on, you know, the great people like Mike Camparelli, we also have Resell Rabbit was here. We got Jonathan Hustleman came out from Phoenix, and just hanging out, having a good time, at least doing my best to try to enjoy the company. Was at a casino last night with Archie and Mike Camparelli, Mike Mecco meetups, and just hanging out. Mike's going to be going home here probably in the next day or so. So I tried to really tough it out for them, but I got to tell you, I was having a tough time, and I eventually had to go home. I told them, guys, you know, I'd like to hang out with you a little bit more, but I just can't do it. So go home last night, wake up this morning, and feeling okay. Get up, have to run to the different places to pick up more merchandise. And about halfway through all my runs, I end up just feeling... What is that? Okay. About halfway through my run today to the different things that I go to three or four different places to pick up merchandise, I just started feeling really nauseous, and a headache started hitting me. It's just the good old migraine thing that happens, and I knew that I had to try to power through. Got home, tried to lay down. You know, Jenna's been shipping all day. Had a pretty decent number of orders this weekend, and I'm like, man, I'm feeling really, really bad. And Jenna's like, yeah, you're not doing the live today. And I'm like, but I have to. She's like, no, you need to take care of yourself. And she's right, you know. But at the same time, I don't want to let you guys down. I feel like when, you know, we're not having the live streams, it's something you look forward to. I mean, even on the Discord, Kelly had dropped in and said, you know, can't you have Jenna jump on the lives? Because I know you guys look forward to the forum that we have, where, you know, we just have a good crew of people that are hanging out in the chat, right? Regardless of what I might have to say, it's something that I think twice a week that we look forward to. I certainly do. I'm not stuck in the chat like a lot of you guys are in the chat, like really just talking it up. But you know, it's something that I look forward to. It's these lives are really, I look at it as part of my life, right? It's just something I look forward to do. It's no different than, you know, my bowling league, you know, in the fall. You know, it's something that I look forward to doing to get off of, well, in this case, to get off of eBay Island. Now, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I think the last series of these videos that I came out with, I was on a different mode with my microphone, so I do have the noise cancellation turned on, and I see that it's on, so hopefully you guys can bear with me. Ooh, I have this board that I purchased. I'm not quite sure what it's for, but you guys can see. Anybody out there can see what I'm seeing? What? Well, there's a piece of something on there, but anybody see what I'm seeing? That board, and you can see on the back, it kind of bleed through. It's like fried. So naturally, this is a reject. So what I'm doing right now, see, I've changed my processes a little bit. And then we're going to get onto the subject at hand, as I have in the thumbnail. Changing my processes in that I am going to start inspecting the stuff that I get before making the draft. So today I picked up about 20 items, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to get me through a couple days worth of stuff to list. So what I did do is I'd make a draft for each one of the items I was picking up, sight unseen, and then I'd pick the items up, and maybe 25% of the items would have to go back. Now, where I go, they allow me to return these items within 7 days if there's a problem. So naturally, this is going to be in my reject pile. Put that right here. Kind of developing this new process this last week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now inspect all the items that I get, and if they are acceptable to be listable, then it'll be put in one pile, and the ones that aren't going to be listable are going to be put in another pile, and then I'll go and create the draft. Now, I guess what I could do is, while I'm out here with these items, I can take the photos, right? Take the photos of all the items that have passed the inspection. Now, I just have to find the location of where I'm storing these things. Make sure that, maybe make note of that somewhere, and then go and create the listings, right? I can do that. But whatever it takes to make this process faster. And my process isn't something that an AI lister is going to fix for me. I promise you that, because I have so much stuff that I have to do within my process. It isn't as easy as just taking a bunch of pictures and letting AI do it for you, because AI isn't going to determine where I'm putting this stuff. AI isn't going to determine, how much this thing weighs. Simply put, this is an aftermarket stereo. Ooh, that's cool to see me in infinity through the stereo. So I have to do a lot of steps. And I think these steps are not just unique to me. These are steps that almost every reseller should be doing, I think, right? Should be doing to make sure that, you have the right measurements, you have the right weight. I do notice that a lot of sellers, they generally tend to heck, I've seen items that have like 30 pounds attached to the listing that I'm piggybacking off of. And it's chances are they're doing a free shipping. I don't know how that return label will work out. I don't know if they use the shipping that you use to ship that buyer, or they're using the data that's in the listing, but I'm not taking that chance. And then again, I'm not offering free shipping. So on most of my items, some items I will, but not. It just really depends on how the market is for that item. So out here in the garage doing my thing, and something that I need to do anyway, make sure these items pass general inspection like I was telling you about, and then everything's good to go, and we launch the listings. Probably get a lot of these done tonight. Again, I am feeling a little better, so it's right now, it's right about time we would normally go live, but I'm in no way, shape, or form ready to go live. I guess I could go live. I don't like pushing the envelope. I mean, I guess I do, but I don't want to push the envelope and tick off my wife. So I'm out here in the garage doing my thing. Maybe I'll get a little sneaky and go on live after I record this. Maybe I'll do that. But I wanted to kind of show you guys some of the things that were said I was able to record. Now, I apologize in that I don't know how good the audio is going to be, simply because, I don't know how good the audio is going to be, simply because these were recorded at a distance. And being that they were recorded at a distance, I don't know exactly how well it's going to translate. I mean, I can hear the speakers just fine, but again, as compared to this audio, this is a chummy bedwetting system. So all looks good. Doesn't look used, which is always a plus, right? So I can try to help somebody potty train their kid. That's great. So that passes inspection. So I don't know. I'm up in the air about it because I have so much to do. I really feel like today has just taken, aside from me going out and getting stuff, it's really taken a lot of my time just to get here right now. So I will consider it. Of course, you'll know before this video hits if I did go live. Getting a lot of nice wishes from you guys. Callie Debs, happy birthday, you know, that kind of thing. She just sent a message to me through the notations. I put a post out saying I wasn't going to be able to make the live. Maybe I'll do an abbreviated version here. Again, you'll know about it before this video hits because this video is probably not going to be out till tomorrow. So here's what I want to do. Let's just do this. I want to, because I'm not going to be able to cue this all up on the live, and it's just going to be kind of wonky if I do. So I want to show you some of the footage that I received that I was able to pick up at eBay Open, and it may answer some questions for you rather than just coming out and saying, hey, this is what they said. This is kind of why I wanted to record this stuff so that you guys actually would see it for yourself. So with that in mind, let's get on to the first clip here. The first clip is about a 15-second clip, but I think it's going to confirm what some people have been saying.
We'll say that you should not use other people's photos without their permission, and you should not use manufactured photos without their permission. In general, those things, if those were reported, then they would take action on your channel.
That happens to be in reference to people saying, hey, you know, I'm sick of people using my photos for their listings. I mean, it should never be done. If you're going to create a listing, and I'm not talking about stock photos at this point. I'm talking about using other people's photos. And I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is that why people don't do their own photos when they have the item. I'm not talking about drop shippers. Talking about just some simple seller who has the item. Maybe it's just too big of a pain in the butt to do. Maybe they see an item that's sold or is currently up for sale on eBay and they say to themselves, well, mine looks just like that. I might as well just take that photo, run it through the AI lister or whatever tool they're using so I can get done even faster, right? Let's make this really fast. Let's just go search for a bunch of things that we're selling. We don't have to take photos. We can eliminate that step completely. Now, look, I've always said that the tool, the photos that show up in these listings, and eBay's always said it's eBay's photo once you put it on their platform. And that's something you agree to when you list on their platform. For me, if my competition is willing to open themselves up for an INAD because they're not delivering upon the best experience, then that's on them. Now, of course, it does reflect on us, and I've always kind of made this case. It does reflect on us that as sellers, we need to kind of police each other. You know, I'm not talking like as in a Karen type of way where you're reaching out to them and you know, telling them, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Of course, report the buyer if you see your image used. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. Go ahead and do that. But as far as reaching out to another seller, I said buyer, didn't I? Reach out to another seller and say, you know, hey, you're doing this. I don't appreciate it. It's just going to cause some ill will. And you know, especially if, you know, you're reaching out with your seller's account. Who knows what that person will liable to do? If they're liable to steal your photos, they're likely to do some other nefarious stuff. So I wouldn't try to reach out to anyone, but go ahead and report the buyer. A seller again. Report the seller. Don't report your buyer. Report the seller if they're using your photo. And that's as simple as that. Don't take it upon yourself to get upset. Don't allow it to bother you so much. And you may never find out what happens. You know, they may get a warning. They may get a slap on the wrist. They may be told by eBay, hey, this is the first time we've seen you doing this. Sort of like a Vero, right? I wouldn't expect them to suspend anyone. I would think it's probably going to be handled like a Vero request. Their item might be, you know, might taken down. So maybe, I guess, you can go in and see in a few days if they've taken down the item, because that's kind of the first step on a bureau. Even on a warning, they'll take the item down and tell the person to fix it, put your photo in there. But I guess some people would say, hey, this is a good thing. And again, report the seller, go to the item, and there should be a report this item, and then just go and report the item and make your case as to, and that might mean you're going to have to say, look, this photo came from item number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let eBay do its thing. Okay, if there's one thing that I am more convinced of now than I was, say, a week ago, is that eBay does want to do the right thing for their sellers. And this is one topic that they've discussed in multiple forums, including this workshop. So that would be my advice to that.
We do know how valuable your time is, and every minute you spend wrestling with tools at eBay is just time that you can be doing something productive for your business. And that's why making selling on our platform as smooth and time-saving as possible is our mission here. And we love to hear your thoughts on what's working and what isn't, and where we can make things more efficient for you. So we're gonna jump to our next question here.
Yeah, I was actually speaking of efficiency, I was on Zoom with the seller. They're kind of showing me some stuff how they list. And it was going so fast, it was like a blur. I was like, how are you even doing that? He actually has these macros and shortcuts. So he's just like filling it up. I'm like, I had no idea people did that. And he's like, yeah, it saves me about 15 seconds. So it lets me do like 5 more listings a day. Like, it was like just those little gains like end up.
I love the macro idea. And I know people who even, a seller friend of mine in New York uses, he just keeps a document open on the side with like 20 different stock answers to questions that he usually gets. I think some of our AI tools are going to help with those automatic responses in the future, but it's a way that he's really consistent with his communications with his buyers. All right, let's do another one here. And it looks like this one's working. This is awesome. Which parts of listings feels like time well spent? Which parts of the listing process feels like it's time well spent?
Maybe it's not working.
Okay.
There it goes. Okay.
We got it. We're doing it. Taking photos, time well spent. Okay. Wow, that was number 1. Wow, long shot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And we have the video now, which I see that's worth like 10,000 words maybe.
I've been slowly upping my photo game, buying better light boxes and better lights, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos about people rating different lighting systems, and it's really helped my photos. Like, I didn't even know about things like color balance until I started watching these, and I learned a lot about, I feel like if you want premium prices for stuff, put premium pictures in there.
I feel like you can actually get more money for the same item just by having a professional looking photo.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they're taking your photos. Then it's...
Cool. Well, it looks like taking photos is the very popular, time well spent for all of you.
So I guess the question posed, and I thought this was kind of interesting to include this kind of stuff. Of the listing process, the question was asked in case you couldn't really hear, and I hope you could hear, otherwise it's going to be very frustrating to watch this video. What part of the listing process do you consider to be time well spent? So, I think there's taking photos, managing your drafts, item specifics, item description, and the vast majority of people put in managing your photos or taking photos. And I think eBay agrees with that statement. They're more and more focused on having you put in more photos in your listing than ever before. I think any information you can add to your listing over and above what you would normally give that buyer is going to help them make a more informed decision. And I know that there's many of us out there that says, what are you talking about? Buyers don't read? But that's not true. Many buyers don't read, but not all. I'd say only a small percentage of buyers don't read. And it's those bad buyers, those bad experiences we have with buyers that tends to stay with us. And I promise you, it is a very, very small amount. that we end up encountering. Unfortunately, they exist, and I don't care where you sell at. It's not just an eBay problem. This is some kind of a motor. Not just an eBay problem. Promise you, I'm sure it's an Amazon problem as well. We just don't see it, right? Because we don't. Most of us don't sell on Amazon. Some do, but many of us don't sell on Amazon. So I want to give a shout out before we go to any further on this video. I want to give a shout out to, oh, here's my, hold on, let me get my tape gun. Give a shout out to my new friend James. He's from the PA, the state of PA, and his wife Lindsay. They're big fans of the channel, and man, that is so awesome, just to meet new people that say, hey, you've inspired me in some way to do this business, to show, I'm here to show you that, hey, I can do it. I need nothing special, guys. I can do this. And if I can do this, you guys can do this. Now, not only is James doing this guy's got employees. I mean, this guy is on it. He's got employees. I mean, he was able to come out to Vegas with his wife, and they don't have to worry about it. They got people that are taking care of the business. Talking about, what does he say? 1 or 2 warehouses? I forgot how many warehouses the guy has. $500,000 a year in sales. And he's doing it. He's doing it. That's outstanding. James, you're my buddy. I hope you hang out with us on the lives. I hope that you stay in touch. I may never see the guy again, but I felt, he did come out to the meetup, the seller meetup on Friday at the restaurant. Forget what it was called again. It's the Cornish Patsy. And they hung out for a while. Came on Mike's live. Mike Mitko had his live during the whole thing. That was interesting in its own right. And just the fact that he, came out to hang out and to say how much he appreciates, the channel, and he likes the work that we're doing. Man, it gets me fired up. I ain't feeling the greatest today, guys. But I'm fired up. I'm fired up to get out here to work because of eBay Open, and I'm fired up because, I got to meet people like James, Lindsay, Sean, and her daughter came to the meetup. We had Lisa Dury telling me exactly the way to pronounce her name in person because I can't seem to get it right on the live. And a number of people. How about the curator of thrift? I spent like 30 minutes talking to that guy. I probably could have spent another couple hours talking to that guy. We don't sell anything alike, but it's just the idea that we have the same things that concern us with eBay. We have this, the same thoughts and desires for the platform. So I think, whenever you can meet other resellers, you may not leave there with, like, oh, I have a sourcing opportunity or something like that. But sometimes you can leave with friendships. And I think that's even more valuable than a sourcing opportunity. Now, I guess it depends on who you're asking, because some people are like, look, I'm not here for friends. But I got to tell you how valuable friendships can be, because they might be out looking for opportunities for themselves. They come across a sourcing opportunity that doesn't work for them, but guess what? You're their friend and it works for you, and they're going to point that person in your direction. So I don't think too many people think about it like that. So the next thing I want to show you, I will try to cue it up here. I don't really have an order of things. I'm just doing this kind of on the fly.
Specifics, which I feel like is another thing that's kind of like the variations maybe, but
it's the third rail of eBay seller conversations that I have is item specifics. I recognize the challenges there. Some of the categories, like in clothing, and you just see a very daunting list there. And too many is number one, clearly.
I'm curious how many people here fill them all out, even though you just, no matter what, you want to fill every single detail out. Okay, a few.
I see a few hands.
But if you do that, a buyer's eyes will glaze over.
There we are. I know we have our.
You want to do just what's necessary and then have a description and copy paste it also in the item condition notes.
Yeah.
So your philosophy is to put fewer in. You think that's less distracting for the buyer.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's good feedback.
So what are your thoughts about item specifics? Now, again, some of these clips aren't easy to hear, and you know, doing my best to in the editing to get these to where the volume is easier to hear, but it's going to take you to maybe kind of listen a little bit harder in some of these clips, because again, there's no setup that I could have done that would have brought to with better volume. I'm sure I could have went and taken one of my mics up front and said, hey, can I just leave this here during the presentation? Something I thought about after the fact. Maybe next time I'll do it that way. Here's a Starlink DC conversion kit. Not quite sure. This is kind of an odd one. Has a power cable with no power cable. So thanks to Mike Metco, I can actually test this thing out with, he sent me one of these. It's one of these power testers. You do is you put it to the lowest setting, and there's different size adapters that it comes with. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but I'm going to try. Hold on. I've got my fire starter power bank over here to test with. So we're at 3.45 volts on this thing. So you can go down to like 3, go all the way to 20 something volts, and then you go where you kind of need to. Go slowly. Get some lights on here. So this thing does light up. It's kind of bright in here. It's hard to see. But yeah, if you go too high, it'll start smoking. And we don't want that. So make sure you always start at the lowest setting and work your way up if you're going to use one of these tools. So this one works. This one works. So I don't know about the lack of a real power cord. Maybe this connects into the actual power source one side to the next. I don't know, but it's something that I'm going to figure out. So, oops, I got the wrong box here. So again, I don't know what you guys think are the biggest pain points with item specifics. I guess, and I think a lot of people said this, is that it takes too long. It's too time consuming. You know, there are benefits that eBay has built into the system to use item specifics, but it never used to be that way. Why can't it be the way it used to be? I guess that's what a lot of people continue to say. Let's try this next clip.
Give yourself the best chance to make the sale when you're listing. We want to understand kind of what goes through your mind when you're building your listings, the details and strategies or the tools that you believe will help find a buyer for your items. And
yeah, we want to know what really makes a difference and what we can do better on supporting. Supporting your success. You know, we have one question on this topic, and
let's jump to that. So in your opinion, what makes a listing more likely to convert into a sale? It's pretty simple. These are all the common things I think people would think to do. Great photos. We talked about that earlier.
I feel like that photos are so important before it's going to be, it must be.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid.
Price, of course.
Price and photos. Jump to the top for sure.
Positive seller.
Clear and complete details. Interesting. There's a good balance here. There's not like a zero at the bottom. Positive seller reputation, 10%. Okay.
How many people do free shipping? I'm just curious. Okay, so like half. I've heard that.
Yeah, I saw about half the hands come up for free shipping. And I know that's a polarizing issue. I do free shipping personally, but I know people who swear by not doing it. And
You're losing money.
I charge for shipping. But that also when you're someone like this.
yeah. Cool. I'm going to jump to the next one here. This is the last topic before we do the Q&A. So we're just going to do it really quick. And
Yeah, we want to know, like, when you need help selling or listing on eBay, where do you turn first? You know, is it help pages, community, YouTubers, social media groups, other sellers? We want to know what is most useful.
where are you guys learning from? few options
For
here.
yourself, it can be.
I know I watch a lot of YouTube videos of reseller content. If any resellers who do YouTube are under the illusion that no one at eBay watches their videos, they do.
Yeah,
I watch them all and I love them.
Chuck sends me multiple ones a day.
Yeah, there's a lot of good information. I think sellers are, everyone has different ways of doing things, and I always like to think there's no right or wrong, but I do like to see how people are operating on the platform. So YouTube tutorials and influencer videos, that's really interesting.
And interesting on the Reddit one, I don't know how people go to Reddit, but like, if there's a seller in there that kind of like posts something questionable, they just get slammed by other sellers being like, that's your own fault. Like, it's sort of a brutal place to go, but.
It's interesting that eBay's own help content is only 18% right now.
Yeah.
That tells me we have some work to do, so thank you for that,
We
Candy.
might have too much help content, so it's hard to find the right help content. Or,
Yeah.
Yes.
or maybe videos would be good. Everyone likes to watch videos.
Maybe we need some kind of help content to find the help content.
So what forum do you utilize when you try to get some help? Are you flipping over to Flippin' Ain't Easy and seeing if we made a video about that? Or are you looking at, YouTube search, trying to find out, hey, who's got a video on this topic? Maybe you're dealing with a sketchy return or something like that, and you just don't know how to handle it. Well, I got to tell you, it doesn't cost a thing. I'm not making a dime off of it, but I can tell you there's been many people who have joined our Discord server, links down below, and have fired off a question about their business or something they're dealing with, and I don't recall too many questions that have gone unanswered. Someone's got an answer or at least a suggestion to try. Might save you time in calling customer service. You know how that could be. Looks like eBay only had 17% of the people that answered that poll that they were talking about in the video who reach out to eBay when they have a problem. So that just tells you, that tells eBay, hopefully that tells eBay that, hey, your customer service isn't very efficient at all, which is something I've been saying for the longest time. But, you really think that the head of customer service is going to report that to the CEO? No, they're not. They're just going to act like everything's great, because if they come back and say, hey, we got a lot of problems here at the 800 number, then, it's going to make them look bad. They're always trying to, this is the thing about the corporate life. It's all about where their standing is on that ladder, more so over the product. If they bring a problem to their superior, usually it's a VP of something before it gets to the CEO, saying, hey, there's a problem with our product, that VP is going to start taking a look at leadership. And so, therefore, what do? They paint a very, sort of like AI with our listings, right? It paints a extra fuzzy picture about their product or whatever they're in charge of. And it may not represent what they're doing at all, but usually it takes somebody above that department, like above customer service, the call center level, to really understand what this feedback here means. If there's only 18% of sellers that turn to eBay when there's an eBay problem, that would be problematic to me. Why? If I have a business, I don't necessarily know if I want my customer going to an outside entity to get an answer that may or may not be correct. But if eBay is providing, subpar service and or subpar answers, how many times have you called eBay and have received multiple answers for the same problem? I have. So why would I consider using that when maybe a fellow reseller or an online search could achieve probably a better answer in a quicker time frame?
And I want you to literally shake your phone. I want you to just go like that. And you should see a little drawer will pop up from the bottom of the eBay app. If you don't see it, that's okay. You may go later in your settings on your eBay app and just turn on Shake to Report, and a little button will pop up, and you'll see it says Send Feedback. That is a way that anytime you're in the moment in the app and you think of something, and it doesn't have to be, oh, this is a bug, or I'm upset about this. I just have an idea about what would make this screen better for me and my business. Hit that button and submit your information in the field. That goes to a database that Jonathan and I monitor among many, many people at eBay, and we take that very seriously. The more people who report the same issue, the more likelihood it is to get our attention and to tell us that that is an area where we need to focus. So please do that. And I mean, Jonathan's like the...
Yeah, put hi Jonathan in there. I will probably find it. I'll get back to you. So if you want to like test me and try it out.
Searches for his own name in there all the time.
And you can also, we have really almost out of time. If you're on the desktop, you're not going to shake your computer, but there's a question mark in the bottom right-hand corner. Probably not good to that. Yeah, click that question mark and the same sort of sheet will pop up. In the app, there's also 3 dots in the top right corner that does the same thing. We got the eBay community forums.
eBay community forums, that's the third way. Yeah, that's community.ebay.com. If you go in there, you can chat with sellers and our what we call seller mentors that all are really great resources for quick answers, but also it's a place where you can drop your ideas and your concerns, and we monitor that. When I say we, it's not just Jonathan and I, it is literally an army of people at eBay who are focused on learning from all of you in those areas.
So that last tidbit was, one of them was named Jonathan. That's all I remember. And he basically said, if you use the feedback option, that you will be able to contact us. Now, a lot of us think, oh, that's going to go into some void somewhere. But he had said that he actually sees those messages. Ooh, this is, what do you think about this? This is some kind of a speedometer that's all cracked up. That ain't going to work. That's going back. So, look, I think sometimes we look at eBay as just a large corporate entity, and they are, right? But if they have people in place that are able to utilize customer feedback in a timely manner, like this guy Jonathan, then, and he's saying, look, you send me a message, I'll get to you. Then try it. Let's try it, and let's hold them to it, or let's give them, hey, their kudos if they deliver upon that experience. Want to know what you guys think down below on the things that we talked about. Now, what I'm going to do, I just got through. I got one more item. I'll go ahead and do it. And let me do one thing here real quick, because I do think FedEx is outside, but I left the packages out for them, and they took them. That's excellent. Because Jenna's taking a little nap, and I can't sleep. So I'm out here talking to you guys, getting some things done, because I'm fired up, guys. I'm fired up. I want to get things done. This is interesting. It looks like a part that I've, some kind of a pump. No, this is a power steering pump. I swear I've had one that looks just like this that I've listed. But cool. That works. That passed the inspection. So here's the deal, guys. Only 3 items did not pass my inspection, which is good news. It's better than a 75% ratio. It's more like an 80-85% ratio. That means that less items I get to take back, more stuff I get to list. So you guys are going to be the, well, I'm going to say you guys are going to be the first ones to be notified that I'm going to go live right now, but you guys aren't going to see this until tomorrow. So I do apologize for, I don't know, telling you guys there's no live today. I'm going to do at least an hour, guys, because you know what? I'm fired up. I am so fired up. I'm feeling better. I'm out here in this hot garage. I didn't fall over yet. And look, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm smart enough to know that if I can't function, then none of this works. None of this business functions. I don't have employees. So my biggest asset is myself. But I think sometimes figuring that out when you're a hardhead like me is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you here very soon. Take care.
Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Vero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. But flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy, let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. A Fero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. Oh, all resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them, you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. Flipping ain't easy, but by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that's within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy, let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game.